Wood is a beautiful material and comes in such a wide variety of colors. But even so, people have always messed around with the natural color of wood, changing it, trying to make it look different. You go back through the history of furniture and you look at the way furniture was made 50, 100, 200, 300 years ago, and you still find people changing colors. Oak, which is beautiful in and of itself. Back in the 1970s, they had this color called golden oak, and it was a yellowish orange, and they would stain the wood with this stain and change the color of it. Well, that's coming back in style, actually. Cherry, which is kind of a reddish color anyway, they actually add red stain to the wood before they varnish it, making it even redder. So it's really common to change the color of wood. So it's not unusual, it's not surprising to find that some people don't like certain colors. Like, you know, this is a piece of puddock, which is a very red wood, and it's a fairly popular wood, what's known as an exotic hardwood. But some people don't like that red color. And there's a lot of red woods. Cedar is red, you know. Mesquite, I like working with mesquite. Mesquite is red. There are a number of different woods that are red, and some people say, how do you get rid of that red? Okay, well, if you remember back from high school art class, you should have learned the color wheel. Now, maybe you didn't learn it, but the color wheel had the three primary colors. That's yellow, blue, and red, making a triangle. And then you mix those three colors together and you get three more colors, and those are green, purple, and orange. And those 6 colors make up the color wheel. Now, one thing they may not have taught you is you take any 2 opposite colors on that color wheel and mix them together and you get brown. Now, there's different kinds of browns, and you know, some browns will look a little more reddish, some will look a little purplish, some will look a little greenish, but they're still browns, okay? And so if this is too red, we can make it less red and make it more brown by putting the color wheel opposite on it. So the opposite of red is green. And there just happens to be one stain that I found that's green. This is by Varthan. It's called Rustic Sage, and it kind of looks like sage. If you saw the video where I made the Christmas tree last December, well, that's the stain I used for it. So we can take this stain and apply it to our wood, and I'm just going to apply it to part of it here. We'll leave that there for a few seconds. And you know, with stains, the longer you leave them, the more impact they have. The more they soak into the pores of the wood, the more they impact their color into the wood, okay? So we'll wipe this off, and we find that we've got a little bit of green highlight in there and some kind of beige looking, but overall the color is more brown. So that's right there. We've just managed to do something to reduce the amount of brown in this wood. Now, a lot of people would stop there, but let's try something else. What else can we do with this? When you're trying to get a specific color with wood, you may have to do more than one staining or more than one operation. Usually you have to let it dry between coats. I'm not going to do that right now. I've got a product here. This is a mixture of stain and varnish, and it's chestnut colored, which is kind of a medium brown. So we're going to put some of this over what we just did here. This is more like a dark chocolate color look here to me. I'm going to put some of it over here on this side. Now this and this don't look the same. This looks redder than this does because, of course, we haven't added the green in there, okay? But both of these have adjusted the original color of the wood, and so we've got an additive effect here. I want to encourage you, when you're trying to make a piece of furniture come out the way you want, or any other project, that you experiment with your colors. Don't do it on the piece of furniture, okay? You know, you spend $100 building a piece of furniture, and it's time to put the finish on, and there's that moment of trepidation as you're getting ready to apply your finish. Hold on. Find some scrap from the same project and try it out on there first. Do your experimenting on a piece of scrap. Then when you're sure you've got it the way you want, then go ahead. Now you can put it on that big piece of furniture and you don't have to worry about ruining all your work, okay? I do a lot of this. Just recently finished a wall in my family room I took hardwood flooring and I put it on the wall. Well, then I needed to make trim that matched it, okay? And so I cut the trim. Now I've got to match the color of that wall, of the existing, okay? And so what I ended up doing is taking the wood I had, which was acacia, and I stained it walnut, and then I put this stain and varnish product over it because it was a little redder, and I ended up with a really good match for the wood that was already there. So there are times when you end up mixing things together to get the color you want. And this is how we get rid of red. Adding another color, adding the opposite color of that green. Just covering it up with brown, as we can see right here, doesn't really get rid of the red. It makes it browner, it makes it darker, but we didn't get rid of the red. Adding the green gets rid of the red, and then if we want to make it darker, we can still make it darker.